Hey guys, why does it look like that? Unless it has a new update I didn't know about. Hey guys, hey listen. Disclaimer, I didn't eat lunch today, so I have to eat and talk to y'all at the same time. Yes, I know, I have to. Disclaimer, hey, if you are on YouTube and you're joining me for the first time, it's your girl, Sherry Summers, your revenue master life coach. Hop on over to Facebook where you can find me there or stay where you are, but click the subscribe link and the YouTube bell so you can know every time that I'm here. Welcome to Faith, Favor, and Finance Show, where every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I teach you how to maximize and monetize your business. So if you're tuning in from our Faith, Favor, and Finance group, let me go ahead and just test to make sure that you can hear me. Okay, good. Okay, good. So if you see, hey Mo, how you doing? Mo say he just ate. Okay, Mo, I was late to for having my lunch because of Mo. So I would blame that on you. I was late for having lunch because of Mo. So I have my salad here, and the reason why I like to eat salad in the middle of the day so I don't get that feeling, that 2 o'clock feeling. You know what I'm saying? I don't like getting that feeling. So as you come on, as YouTube tell you that I'm on, as we come on, tell everyone who you are and what you do. Hey, Ebony, you are joining me here. I'm so excited. So go ahead right now in the chat. Tell people who you are. Tell them what you do, just in case someone is looking for your service. In this video, however, we're going to be talking about how to rake in 15K per month using your authority. Listen, December is almost ending and we got to prepare for 2021, and we got to make sure our business and our brand show up as the money we are trying to receive. So as you come in, tell everyone who you are, what you do, so in case they're looking for you, they can find you. I'm excited about today. I'm excited about our show, about talking about how to rake in 15K per month. So I see Ebony's here. I see Mo is here. I'm going to give Facebook and YouTube a little bit to make sure that they join the people who need to come in here, because listen, grab your Diva pen and your diamond notebook so we can dive right in. Diva pen, diamond notebook, so we can go ahead and dive right in. One of the reasons why I wanted to go over this, to have this conversation, is financial coaches in your financial space. It's so important that you have an online presence. I know right now, literally during COVID, our financial group take a hit, because normally they would be outdoor knocking, they were making calls, they would have seminars, meetup. So when COVID hit, that in-person personality or in-person marketing that we're so used to took a hit as well, right? So now we were forced to come online into a space that financial coaches may not be used to, right? We were forced. So here's the thing. You can go out there and you can speak live and tell people, show people that you're the expert. But when you come onto the space, you got to be able to do the exact same thing, but show it with your brand, show it with your authority. And that's what we really want to go over today. So I'm going to show you 3 simple ways that I need you to show up, whether you're in the financial space or whether you're in any type of coaching or consulting space. Regardless of what business you have, the model still remains the same. So when I talk about showing up in the financial space, something is trying to get my food. Okay, all right. When we're talking about showing up in the financial space, one of the things we want to talk about is it's great to be able to have clients, and it's great to be able to create marketing strategy. But what happens with financial coaches? Sometimes you get burned out. You get burned out because you're busy doing all the things. You're busy trying to help your client increase their earning power. You're busy trying to help your clients save money. You're busy trying to do all the things. And then what all the things is, you're only one person. We're in so many hats. You're only one person. One of the reasons why I even started changing my services is to really compel to the financial coaches, because when you're trying to help people earn their money, and when you're trying to help people create a lifestyle for their business, you don't have time to work on your own business. Right? And the strategy that people are telling you about, go ahead and buy leads, right? Buy leads. And after you buy the leads, you got to call the people to make sure that's a lot. That is a whole lot of stuff to do. Buy the leads, then go knock on the door, then go write the policy. There's so much moving parts within the financial industry. So we want to address them and show you how you can generate the leads and let the leads come to you versus you going to them. Hello, baby. You ready to get started? Where the leads come to you versus you going to them, and then you racked in your 15K per month. What does that look like with the leads coming to you? Well, first of all, a lead is not going to come to you until you have positioned yourself as the expert. Right? You have position. Yes, it's one thing about knowing, but positioning are two different things. So you have to be positioned online in your online platform as the expert. So one of the things I really work on as a revenue master life coach, if you're just joining me for the first time, it's your girl Sherry Summers, your revenue master life coach. One thing I do with my clients, the first part that I deal with when it comes to racking in 15K per month using your authority, keyword authority. One thing I want to make sure that you understand is, how do you see yourself? Right? Number one, how do you see yourself? Because when it comes to branding, we can position you as the amazing person that you are, the beauty and all. We can dress you up looking glamorous, 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 glamorous. However, if you don't feel the glamorous within you, it doesn't matter what we dress up. So that's why my master life coaching piece, as my title says, is what we deal with first. How do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as your highest self? And I've been talking about this consistently over and over. It's always a self-check, right? So instead of how do we generate leads to us, how do we generate leads, how we allow leads to come to us, is first of all, we have to believe in ourselves. We have to believe in the person that we are, right? We give so much to other people. We are mothers, we are wives, we give so much to our families, but yet we leave a little bit for ourselves, right? I was seeing something on Instagram where the mother cut out the inside of the bread and gave the inside of the bread to the kids, and then she ate the corner of the bread and with some water, right? So we are natural nurturers that always put in our family and putting our kids first. But one thing we've learned over the course of the years that we can't pour from an empty cup. And the fact that we can't pour from an empty cup, if we decide to come into this space where we are helping other people, one more time, we're helping others to build wealth, we're helping others break generation curse in their finances, we're helping others to provide a service for other people, we have to show up as our highest self as well. How much is left for us after we've been pouring into other people? What is left? Who pour into you? If you're a business owner, who pour into you? If you're pouring into your client, if you're giving to your client, I have a master group, coaching group that I'm in, a mastermind group that I'm in, that I pay big money to be in, because they pour into me, I pour into my clients, and it's a domino effect, right? And I make sure I schedule myself here to make sure I'm in the right mind to be able to help people generate their life goal. What does that look for you? So number one, again, we're talking about, how do you see yourself? Because it's the first part when you're coming into my space. When you're coming into my group or my coaching program, the first part is dealing with your own mindset. Because no matter how we dress anything up, if you don't feel that about yourself, you're not going to feel about for anyone else. What I see right now, I see Mo says, I compound words like interest and tell your best love story. I love that. In a way that is build brand awareness. I love that. And build relationship with your audience. Come through, Mo. You better tell them. You better find Mo. Mo will get your words right, baby, to attract your ideal client. I love it. Ebony says, I am the queen of contracts and legal and identity services for all the trivial to the traumatic, all the trivial to the traumatic. I love that. Come through, Ebony, queen of contracts. Yes, there will, and those play on words, people will remember. You leave a mindset in who you are and what you do. So how do you see yourself? Ebony see herself as a queen of contracts. She see herself that when you have any type of contract or agreement, I love to call them agreement, she has a company that will look over her agreement for her and get back to her. So I love like a second eye, queen of contracts. So if you have a business and you're looking for somebody to help you with your business and to look over your agreement, Ebony is a person to talk to. You see how that works? That's easy as 1, 2, 3. So Ebony, how do you see yourself? You would see yourself as the queen of contract, the go-to person who knows about contracts inside and out, right? know about trademarks and copyrights and agreements and all that type of agreements that we would use. How do you see yourself? Right? And one of the things I want to talk about when you talk about how you see yourself is to specialize in an area. I know there's so many times we do so much stuff, but when you specialize in an area of seeing yourself as that go-to person, when you specialize in that area, one of the things that I love to specialize is literally showing you the revenue. I specialize. Even my shirt always say revenue is my business, right? Revenue is my business and my mission. It specializes in that revenue and then help you develop a mindset to go with that revenue that you see yourself. So do you see yourself owning that home? Do you see yourself buying that car? Do you see yourself traveling? Do you see yourself getting paid to speak? Do you see yourself writing that book? Do you see yourself having $1 million contract? Do you see yourself having those different type of clients? How do you see yourself, right? I'm not just talking about in financial space because those are offsets. That's natural. But how do you see yourself? Do you see yourself targeting $1 million clients to work on their contract or project? How do you see yourself? That's the first part. I only got to number 1. We're doing number 3, right? We're doing 3. How to rack in 15K per month using your authority. But it all starts in mindset. So, because I can say it all day, but if you don't get number 1 right, how do you see yourself? It doesn't matter what I'm going to say about 1 and 2. You're not even going to even think about it. So how do you see yourself? So you're saying to yourself, Sherry, I see myself that way, but I don't believe that right now my brand look the way how I see myself. Now that's when we're ready to work. But right there, that's when we're ready to do the work. That's how I see myself. I truly am. My mindset is ready to receive, but I don't know if my brand, what people say about me when I'm not in the room, what my colors look like, my image look like, my business show up as, is it professional? Brand is an experience. It's not just about website, logo, and just words. It's an experience, right? I was just talking to one of my VIP clients today, and she said, Sherry, are you always this energetic? And for the record, it was 6 a.m. in the morning, right? It's an experience. How do you feel when you get around a person? How does that person motivate you to move? How does that person motivate you to do the things that you couldn't do, motivate yourself to do? How does that person keep you accountable for the things that you have to keep your own self accountable for? Hello, get all that. All that. So again, the question is, how do you see yourself? So that's number 1. Now, when you say to yourself, okay, Sherry, this is how I see myself and this is how I show up. Once you say that, once you articulate yourself and said, this is how I see myself, this is, she said, Sherry, it's all lit. I love it. Yes, I am always lit. Yes, and that's part of my brand. Baby girl, you can't come around here talking about, I don't know if I can work today. I don't know if I can. You got breath in your body. God has woke you up to see another day. This is your opportunity to go after all those dreams that you wrote down in your journal. Hello, this is your opportunity to go after those dreams that you be writing down behind the scenes. Hello, no excuses. Just show up and do the work, right? So brand is that brand experience. So you're going to build a brand around how you intentionally see yourself. You're going to build a brand around how you see yourself. So you know what we did first, right? We get the mind right first, because there's so many people on Instagram, on Facebook, and so many people who they have a great picture, but deep down inside, they don't see themselves that way. And the reason why they don't see themselves that way, even though they have a great picture, you know that because we want to have celebrities committing suicides. They have everything. They can show up the way they want to show up. So even though they show up great, their mindset is not there. So that's what I truly believe that my business set my business apart, is because we're always dealing with your mindset. We're always revolutionizing the way you think. And then when you see yourself at the point that says, yes, I truly believe I can, I truly believe I'm worthy, I truly believe that I feel like I see myself at the highest self. I see myself going after my dreams. I see myself having $1 million clients. I see myself looking a different way. That's when we go into number 2 and building a brand that is conducive to the way you see yourself. So we went from how do you show up to number 2, building a brand that is conducive to the way you see yourself. Hello. What does that look like? What does that experience look like? And then here, let me tell you something about building your brand. You're got to build a brand based on who your target market is, based on the type of ideal client that you want to attract, based on the experience that you want your ideal client to have with you. So you're building a brand that is conducive to the way you see yourself in number one. Right? What does that look like? There's so many times I see financial coaches, they spend time, they have people on social media, they have people, they have virtual assistant that work with their social media, they have some virtual assistant that post for them, they do live on Facebook, but they would not invest in a headshot, a proper photo shoot. They would not invest in a nice logo, or they don't even know the whole concept of it. And what happened is people buy with their eyes. Hello. Come on, y'all. Y'all get some good things today. People buy with their eyes. If people did not buy with those eyes, when you go to the grocery store and you see all those images of the box that you're going to buy, one of the worst thing is the box, look at this image. And when you open the box, you're like, what is this? This is not the same thing that's on the cover. Come on, y'all. Am I the only one? Give me a 3 in the chat if you ever experienced that. You go to the grocery store to get your nice meal, and on the cover, the meal making your mouth is watering. Your mouth is watering. Back up. You seen a Burger King commercial on TV, and they're the flame boil, and they tell you all this stuff, and your mouth is watering. And then you get your burger and it's dry as heck, right? People buy with their eyes. That's an example of how I know people buy with their eyes. So when you have a brand that speaks to your ideal client, that show your ideal client who you want to target. I have a lady that wanted something for my business. She wanted a cleaning company. And for me, when it comes to my business, I know my first of all, my cleaners are from the island. So listen, they're going to give you the good deal. They're going to give you a good cleaning. So I have to pay them well. So my price range of, at the time when I had my proper preservation business, my prices has to be matching the ideal client I want to work with. So and my posts and my social media and the way I show up and my colors and my brand and my image, all of that has to speak to the ideal client. And when I was showing that, one of the ladies there that know me very well says, hey, you know, I need a cleaner. And she could have easily reached out to me. But she said, Sherry, I already know I can't afford that price. So I'm not going to go there. Right. So you eliminate the people who you don't want to work with, and you attract the people you're going to work with. Right. Because I know what my cleaners do. I know how they will get your home look, smelling all good. I know what they bring to the table. So if it's only fair that I pay them well, and paying them well means my price may be not like everybody else's price. Not to mention you're a business. You have insurance, you have taxes. Hello. You have clients, you have staff, you have all these people that you have to pay for, all these people. So you got to be important. So we talk about build a brand that's around that. Your brand should attract your ideal client and repel the people. If you're saying to me, Sherry, I ain't about broke folks coming to me, my question has always been, let me take a look at your brand. Let me take a look at the way you show up online and offline. Let me take a look at how you look, or who you're talking to, or what the words, keyword, words that you're saying in your content when you show up, because people buy with their eyes. And then after they look, they'll say, okay, what is this talking about? So look at the image first, and then they start buying with their eyes. Now, what does this have to do with racking in 15K per month? Because when you start showing up as when you start believing that you're worthy of your highest self and you can achieve it, then you create a brand around that. What happens is people's looking at you like, listen, I want that. I want to do that. I want to get to that point. Let me call this person up and see how I can do that. Right? You don't even have to call them. They'll start calling you, because you're building a brand that is conducive to the lifestyle that you want to live. Conducive. So now you're driving traffic to you without ever having to chase a client, because you're showing up who you are, because you believe that you're worthy. When you don't believe that you're worthy and you're not consistent, it won't work. Right? It won't work. And then, so now that you're showing up as your highest self, now that you build a brand, listen, if this is so good, give me a high 5 in the chat. If you're understanding everything I'm saying right now, give me a 5 in the chat. And if you're joining me on YouTube, go ahead and give me a 5 as well in the chat. We're glad to have you over here. inside our faith, favor, and finance group. So now that you show up, now that you believe in yourself that you're worthy, because mindset is the first thing, honey, because we have emotions. And as we go through our life, there are going to be emotions that are up and emotions that are down. No time when I'm laying in the bed, does it ever say, man, this bed is so good, I need to get up and go work out. No time my bed said, man, I'm just joyous, let's go work out. No time. No time. No time. No time does my bed ever say that. No time have I ever feel. No time do I ever get excited to read my Bible. Never. Never. Listen, am I the only one? I never get excited to read my Bible. More than likely, the things that you need to do, you will never be wanting to do it. Never. Never. Never wanted to do it. That's just how life is. So when we talk about racking in 15K per month using your authority, is being really clear about who you believe that you are, right? And then the way you show up. Now, when you decide about who you are and the way you show up when it comes to your brand, the third part is now, how do I monetize that? How do I monetize this? How do I monetize my brand so I can now be seen? Not saying you're not. We're talking about be seen as the expert that you are in your field. What does that look like? How do I monetize it? Does my offer match it and the amount matches who I am and my expertise? That's where it comes. Does my offer, the price range, does it match my target market? Right? Sometimes we have the right marketing, wrong offer. Sometimes we have the right offer, wrong target market. So all that has to play a part. You may say you're doing bookkeeping, and you're doing bookkeeping, and in that bookkeeping, your target market, maybe people just starting off in their business. So your bookkeeping, but yet your bookkeeping is $6,000. Well, that's not going to make sense if they're just starting out, right? So wrong target market, right offer, wrong target market, right? So you really have to make sure that your target market makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. You have to make sure that your offer makes sense. So how do you monetize that? How do you make sure you're monetizing that? All of that has to be uniform across the board. Your right offer, right target market, and showing up the right way. All of that, and having the right mindset. Having the right mindset. All of that create a conducive way, a uniform way of harmony. Right? Think about it like playing music. You're playing music, it's music to your ears, you're playing music. Think about it like playing music. So you're playing the music and you're low, and then another rhythm come in, and then they bring in the drums, and then they bring in the clarinet, and then just harmony. Just harmony. Everything sounds good. Even if it's up and down, it still sounds like it's supposed to be. That's how your business has to show up. Right? That's how your business have to show up. The prices that your business offer. And here's another thing too. It is a lot, right? It is a lot. That's why we form our executive coaching group, where we deal with most of that for people who like, I don't want to deal with all that, right? That's why we formed that. And you're saying, Sherry, hold on, how do I show up? I'm not a person who, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do that. How do we start? I would say first find out what your highest self look like. How do you find that out, Sherry? By creating a vision board. Creating a vision board. What does your highest self look like in a vision board? Create a vision board. Let your vision board speak to your highest self. What does that look like? What does she look like? What does she own? Where is she going? Who is she? What places is she traveling to? And then when you have a vivid image of who she is, what she likes, her lifestyle, her philanthropy work, what she like, who she would like to help in the community or overseas. Y'all know I'm big on Africa. I've been supporting Africa like crazy. Right? I'm big on third world countries, supporting third world country. What is your philanthropy work with your highest self? What does she look like? Who does she support? How does she give back to her community? Right? That's what you're looking for when you're highest self. That's what you're looking for. And then you build a brand that speaks to that highest self. Build a brand that is conducive to that highest self. And like I said, image is everything. How you show up, what you say, what you do. People buy with their eyes. They buy with their eyes. That's what they do. They do. They do. So who's the ideal client that you're trying to attract? What does that look like? If people didn't buy with their eyes, there should not be an Instagram. That's why we have Instagram, because Instagram is all about images. It's all about images, right? So how does people make a sale on Instagram if they didn't buy with their eyes? The eyes is a powerful thing. So you got to show up as that person that you say you want to be, number one. And number three, how do you monetize that? Last one, how do you monetize when they show up? How do you monetize that? What is the monetization of believing in who you are, showing up as her, and building a brand that is conducive to the person you believe in, to that person, to that person? How do you monetize that? That's really something to really think about. How do you monetize that? Because at any given time, you're going to have something called imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is going to tell you that, no, you can't do this. Or imposter syndrome is going to tell you you're not that person. So you have to revolutionize yourself and keep reminding yourself each time. This is why life coaching is so important. Right? Most of my business is not about strategy and even branding. Most of my business is reminding that person of who that person is. That's why most of my business is about showing that person who they truly are, because society have a tendency to allow them to think something else. Society has allowed. So when you decide to go after your dream, people are going to be like, well, who you are. Ebony said, know what you're worth. I love that, Ebony. Know your worth. Because society is going to spend time saying, why are you doing that? Nobody in your family ever done that. Who are you? They start questioning you, right? And I remember when I started my business, I was like the only one. You really say, I'm going to go after my dream. You're going to leave a law enforcement thing to go after your dream. And it really gives me great comfort when the people who turned me down when I asked my time off, it really gave me real comfort to see them the other day and just saying, hey, I'm proud of you. But if I had allowed my family or people in my ear, like, this is not going to work. Why are you doing it? It's not going to work. But I also know the struggles that I went through to get to that point, doing everything by myself. I also know that. So that's why I'm making it easy and more effortless for other people not to be able to have to do that the same as well. Right? When you know better, you do better. When you know better, you do better. So one of the things I think out of the three is, how do you see yourself? Because time and time again, you have to condition your mind. I just assigned Rachel, Girl Wash Your Hair, Rachel Hollis. That's a book I just assigned to my VIP client today when we had a meeting. I told her that book. I said, hey, I need you to read this book, Girl Wash Your Face. I think it was Go Wash Your Face. And I would highly recommend that book to anyone, and just talk about you can be whatever you say that you can be. Make sure you read that book. It goes really deep. It goes really, really deep. And reading those type of books and listening to those type of podcasts and listening to those things, it will recondition your mind that you can have that dream. Like you can literally have that dream. So anyways, I have to jump off, but when you start doing all three, when you start knowing who your highest self look like and reminding yourself of her all the time, that God don't make no mistakes and he's created everything within you already. All you have to do is to step in your purpose, right? And show up as is. And then you create a brand that matches that, right? With your image, your content, your experience, and you monetize that. That's when the attraction of people raise their hand and say, hey, I want to know about this. I want to know about what you do. We're not doing that enough. We're not doing that enough. We are not articulating our value enough to show up in the marketplace. How can you be the best kept secret when people out there that needs what you have to offer? So listen, this is what I want you to do. I want to challenge you to think about, who is that person? Who is she? What does she look like? How do you build a brand around her? Right? And how do you monetize that brand, whatever industry you're in? All right. So that's all I have for you today. If you're on YouTube, make sure you're joining me inside of my Faith, Favor, and Finance group inside of social media. And if you're saying, Sherry, I don't know how to do all that. Like, I don't know. I can't even pick up my outfit. I don't even know how to do that. DM me. Let's chat. Let's get deep so we can get you clear on what your brand looks like, so you can create brand identity. Brand identity. That means you know my logos before I even know my logos, right? You know my brand is coming across the screen without even looking at, oh, that's from Sherry, because you've been around me and you've noticed my colors and my image already. So that's what we call brand identity. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Ebony said, thank you. You are so welcome, baby girl. I love it here. Love it here. So it's your girl, Sherry Summers, your revenue master life coach. Make sure you join me every Tuesday Eastern Standard Time at 1 p.m. for Faith, favor, and financial. Talk to y'all later.